Hey, welcome, fellas. Let's go over the lineups real quick for the Athletics. It's Campaneris at short, Rudy in left, Jackson in right field. Batting cleanup is Epstein, the first baseman. Bando batting fifth at third base. Mangwal, the center fielder. Duncan batting seventh, the catcher. Eighth is Dick Green, the second baseman, and Blue Moon Odom, the pitcher. For the Senators, it is Unser in center, Nelson, the third baseman, Mincher at first base, Howard, the left fielder, Burrows, the right fielder, Allen, the second baseman, sixth, seventh is Casanova, the catcher, eighth is Cullen, the shortstop, and Gogoleski is the pitcher.
Hey guys, Tony Porter, Cards and Dice TV. Let's get started with this game. It is Oakland at Washington. I have Robert F. Kennedy Stadium right here, and it tells you a little bit about the dimensions in that it's a little bit tougher on the right-handers than it is on the left-handers. So they have the lefties have a little bit more of an advantage, but it's not a home run friendly ballpark at all. You'll still get home runs, but not off the ballpark. So, all right, let's get started. It's Bill Gogoleski against Blue Moon Odom. Blue Moon has struggled this season. He's got a 6 ERA, I think, so has not done well. And Gogoleski is a pretty good pitcher. He was 6-5 with a 2.75 ERA in 27 games, 124 innings pitched. So let's play ball. I forgot to bring this out. Right, there we go. All right, so let's slide these a little bit to the right. And all right, here goes Bert Campaneris. Campy, how's he doing? He is batting 252. And in reality, what did he bat? 251. How do you like that? And here's the pitch. It's going to be a 62, and that is ball 4. So he walks. So Campy is on, and he's always a threat to steal. And Gogoleski is a 0, and the catcher Casanova. All we got to do is really look at those at the beginning of the game, and I'll show you where to look at that. It's a 0 as well. So right here, you look here. Let me use a pencil instead. Here it is. I mark these up and I write on them, but I just wanted to use a pencil for this. Is this pencil? No, pencil's no good. Is that a pencil? This one should be good. Yeah, okay. So you look right here on the pitcher, you're going to look at his hold rating right there, right? 0. And then on the catcher, you're going to look at his throw rating, which is right there. So Campaneris is going to be a 13. And we're going to roll to an Adam, and that's a 5. So there he goes, and Casanova shoots it down, and the tag by Cullen, actually the tag by Allen, it's a righty batter, so it's the opposite. And Campaneris is in there. Stolen base for Campy. So Joe Rudy's up now. Rudy struggled a little bit. He's batting 248, and he batted 267. So he's been away for about a month. So Gogoleski with the sign from Casanova, and he's set. Looks at Campaneris. Campaneris shuffles off second base, and here's the pitch to Rudy, and that's a 93. And that's in the area where you get the pickoffs, wild pitches, and balks, but there's nothing there on a 93. So that's going to be a 6, which is a ground ball to second base, and that'll move behind the runner. That will move Campy to third. So now runner on third. Nobody's on. There's one out, so we're going to bring the infield in for Jackson. Jackson steps in the box. He's a lefty hitter, and he makes a difference. He knows how to get on base, and he's got good power. And Gogoleski gets the sign from Casanova, and here's the pitch. And it's a 0-0, and that's going to be trouble. And a 2, so that's within the. So that's going to be a drive in the gap, a deep drive, and this may go into the seats, and that ball's out of here. I think that's his 20th home run of the season. We'll check now. It'll say it at the bottom of my screen. That ball is way back, driven, line drive, home run by Reginald Martinez Jackson. Burrows in right, looks up, and that ball is gone. There's nothing he can do. And that is his 20th of the season. He hit, how many did he hit? He hit 32, so he's right on track. He's got another 6 weeks. For a long time, he really struggled, but he started lately. He's been hitting home run every 3 days. So it's 2-0 A's, just like that. And that silenced the Washington crowd. I don't have so let's do it. Epstein. And that's a 46. That'll be off Epstein's card. Remember, 0-0 to 49 off the batter, and the 9 is cracked to center. And that's Del Unser's out there. It's Frank Howard in left, Del Unser in center, and Burrows in right field for the outfield defense for the Washington. I call them the Nationals, Washington Senators. Around the horn, it's going to be Nelson at third, Cullen at short, Allen at second, and Mincher at first. Casanova the catcher, and Gogolewski on the mound. And here's Sal Bando with 2 out, nobody on the pitch. Ooh, that's a 0-8. That's ripped, and that's a base hit played on a hop by Howard. Single for Bando, and he does not steal. I only have 3 stolen bases. I can get those in the last series. I'm not worried about that. Here's Mangual with 2 outs and 1 on. And Mangual he batted 286, and in our replay, he's been raking, batting 323. Here's the pitch from Gogolewski. 0-4, another 0. That's ripped to left in the corner, and Howard cuts it off, but getting to third is Bando, who was on the go on contact, and now it's first and third. So Duncan is a big batter for Gogolewski, who's already trailing 2-0. Gogolewski gets the sign from Casanova and shakes him off. Now he sees one he likes, and he sets his grip with the ball out of sight, and he delivers. And that's a 32, which will be a 6, and that's a hard hit ball at the shortstop. Cullen, he's up with it. Flips to, feeds Allen at second for the 6-4 fielder's choice. And that ends the inning. We go to the bottom of the first. 2-0 A's. And the Senators coming to bat. There, I got that right. Call them Senators instead of the Nats. Here's Del Unser leads off. There's a pitch from Blue Moon, who's really struggled this season. That's a 20, and that's going to be defense. So everything that can go wrong goes wrong for Blue Moon Odom. That's a 66, and that's bounced to the second baseman. And who's over there? Green. He picks it up and throws him out. 1 down. All right, so these cards are brand new as well. First time I played this team. Dave Nelson, since I got the new cards. 37, remember I started with version 2 and I continue with version 3. 37 is a 6, and that's a hit up the middle, and Campy gets there, throws on the run, and gets Dave Nelson, who's a poor third baseman at a 2. See that? You don't want low numbers, you want high numbers. You want him to be a 5. Here's Don Mincher. He's an average third baseman. So if you're tracking, you can just ignore the 3s. Most guys are 3s. Like Green is a 3 there. Pitchers are usually 3s. But this Blue Moon Odom's a poor fielder, so he's a 1. Don Mincher here with 2 out, nobody on, and a pitch from Blue Moon. Oh, that's 0-5, and that's a hard hit ball, and that's up the middle and through into center field for a base hit, a 2-out single. And let's check his stolen bases. He only has 3, so we're not going to worry about stealing with him. Frank Howard now with good power. So he hit 26 home runs in this 1971 season, batted 280. So Blue Moon Odom gets the sign from Duncan. Tennis has been doing a lot of catching for the Athletics in this month of August and late July. And he's rated very excellently, by the way, defensively. And here's Howard, right-handed hitter. Blue Moon gets the sign from Duncan and looks at Mincher. Mincher doesn't have a big lead, and to the belt and deals. And that's a 26, which will be a swing and a miss. Struck him out. Ends the inning. All right, let's pick this up there. All right, Dick Green leads off against Gogolewski. Top of the second, the pitch to Green. That's an 82. That'll be off the pitcher. And an 8, that's lifted to left center field. Howard and Unser. And it's Howard. Calls him off one way. Blue Moon Odom doesn't hit very much at all. And it's a 94 with an 8. That's, again, popped up. And back goes Cullen and Nelson. And in comes Howard. And Howard calls him off. That's 2 for Howard. And next is Bert Campaneris. Campy. steps in the box, and Gogolewski gets the sign. And the pitch, winds and deals a 91, and a 1 is going to be popped up middle infield. And it's Cullen near the second base bag. He makes the catch, and that retires the side to go to the bottom of the second. So this game plays very fast. If you're used to Strat Basic or Appa Basic or even Status Pro, this plays just as fast. This is, and that reminds me a lot of those games. It's a 97, and that's a 3, which is a bouncer to third, Bando. Nice hop for him, and he throws him out. So Jeff Burrows bounces out. Here's Bernie Allen. He's a lefty specialist. And that's a 0-0. That's going to be against a lefty. Ooh, that's ballpark. So anything that's ballpark is going to be an out. So it doesn't have a lot of power, but hits some triples and a lot of doubles. And here's the drive to right center field. And a 64 is going to be one hop off the wall. Jackson plays it. Digging for second is Allen. And the throw from Jackson, the tag by Campaneris, and he is safe. One out double. Bernie Allen. 266 hitter, and about 250 plate appearances. Here's Paul Casanova. Casanova, 203 hitter with 5 home runs. Does have pass balls, but only on the road. You don't have to play it that way. You can play it 50-50. Like you can roll and say 1, 2, 3, it's a pass ball, or 4, 5, 6, it's not a pass ball if you don't like. That just simplifies it. But you don't have to do it that way. The version 3 was trying to minimize the rolls, so that was the whole purpose, spirit of creating version 3. There was a couple extra rolls in version 2. That was the only really main difference. All right, so Casanova, let's see, Bernie Allen's not going to steal third, because to be honest, he didn't have any stolen bases, so why even worry about that? Here's the pitch, and plus he's in scoring position. That's a 44, and that's going to be a bouncer to third again. Bando. He's going to look Bernie back to second and throws over to first to get him, so that's 2 outs. And here's Cullen. Tim Cullen, 190 hitter, 400 plate appearances. Odom gets the sign, looks at Allen. Allen shuffles off second, and Odom delivers. 47, again, that's a 6, and that's hit hard at Campaneris. Over to first, and that retires the side. We go to the top of the third inning. Joe Rudy leads off, one of my favorite players. Pitch, and that's a 56, and that's going to be line. Base hit to left for Rudy. So Rudy continues his hot streak. Ever since coming back from injury, he's been on fire. En fuego, if you will. Reggie Jackson now. Reggie Jackson hit his 20th earlier in the first inning. Put the A's up 2-0. Now, there's different things happening. I'm using my phone right now. My old camera is old and real blurry. And the reason I haven't been using my screen is that I started this replay about 2 years ago, and I started on a computer that doesn't have any sound. So I have to really take it in to get it repaired. But since I only have basically 7 more weeks, or about six more weeks to go in this replay, I said, let me finish this replay, let me get all the data out of it, and then I'll take it to get fixed, because if they screw up my computer and wipe everything out, at least I won't lose the whole season. So that's where I stand right now. So I'm having to use my camera, and that's the deal. Right? My camera phone is what I meant to say. Not otherwise, I'd use my screen and just basically take a picture of the dice or myself on my other computer, where I have my other replays going. I have all my other replays on the other computer. All right. Actually, I have the Reds on this one, and I have this A's on this computer. And the reason why is, on this computer, I installed a Stratomatic, and I'm doing the Reds 1990 on this computer, which has the Stratomatic game installed on it. So I was forced, but I have the replay game installed on all the computers that I have. But I have three desktops, and then I have 2 laptops, and I have 2 tablets. All right, plethora of stuff. Jackson, 69, and a swing and a miss, and he goes down on strikes to lead off. Oh no, not leading off. Rudy was on first, and Rudy doesn't steal either, so he's not going to be taking a very big lead. Here's Epstein. Epstein's got some power. He's got about 16 home runs, 256 hitter. He batted 237, so he's hitting about 20 points higher. Here's the pitch from Gogolewski, 13, and that's ball 4. So that's a free pass for Epstein, who doesn't offer. And that puts runners on first and second with 1 out. And here comes Sal Bando. Sal Bando also, 13 home runs, 264. He batted 271. So everybody's right around. And every time they drop 10 points, all of a sudden they get, 3-4 hits in the next couple of games, and they come up 10 points. Pretty amazing. And here's Gogolewski. Gets the sign and to the belt and deals. And that's a 46 with a 2. And that's a slow bouncer right back to the mound. Both runners are going to advance on this. Only one play for Gogo, and that's to first base. And here's Angel Mangwal. And the one thing that this game doesn't have is the nicknames. Nicknames were always funny with Appa. And 2 out and 2 on in scoring, both in scoring position. But Epstein doesn't have much speed, so we may hold him up unless it's something like a double, because otherwise I don't see him scoring. I would have to go on the choice chart, and I don't know if I'm going to do that with him. I'm not sure. I don't like to run with, even though he would be slow. He's very slow, but he would go to slow because there's 2 outs. Here's Mangwal. Here's the pitch from Gogolewski. And that's a 61, and ooh, just missed being hit. That's ball 4. So Mangwal shows some good patience and waits out Gogo, and that's going to load the bases for Duncan, Dave Duncan. Dave Duncan's batting 226 is a 253 hitter, so he's about 25 points below where he should be. Had 15 home runs, and our replay only has 5, so he has not hit as well in the replay as he did in reality. He struggled a little bit here, but lately he's been hitting. But hasn't been playing much. But when he has played, he's hit. So Gogolewski with the bases loaded again, under pressure here, and he gets the sign from Casanova, and everybody takes their lead. It's Rudy at third, Epstein at second, Mangwal at first. 2-0 A's. They have a chance here with 2 outs. Duncan has a chance to break it wide open. Here's a drive, and 83 is going to be hit hard on the ground. Allen is going to go to first, and that retires the side. So he got Duncan to ground out. The bases loaded. Here's Gogo, leads off. Blue Moon winds and deals in 11, and that's a strikeout. 1 down. So he blows it past Gogolewski, who heads back to the bench, and here comes Del Unser, lefty hitter. Unser in the replay, 267. That's not deep drive, by the way. That's the replay game, which is an excellent game as well. 15, that's ball 4. So a 1-out walk to Del Unser, who had 11 stolen bases, and a 10. He's a +1. That makes him an 11. And my catcher is, I don't think my catcher is anything, to be honest with you. Catcher, I think, is a 0. And he is. So that's just an 11. And he's going to, down by 2, he's going to go. There he goes. And he is safe. So stolen base, that's a 7. He needed an 11. He got it under that. And yeah, Unser's in scoring position for Dave Nelson. Blue Moon gets a sign from Duncan. He's ready. Looks over at Unser. Unser shuffles off the bag, and Campaneris keeping him close. Green now behind him. And here's the pitch. And that's a 95, which will be a 0. That is ripped to the second baseman, Green. And will they get Unser? That's the question. And they know he is safe backslide. He quickly gets back into second base. We ripped it to Green. And Green tried to dive in behind Unser, but Unser got in just in time. I needed zeros, 0-9 to 0-0 to be a double play there. Mincher now, and he's a left-handed hitter with 12 home runs, batted 280. I'm gonna have to let my dog in 1 second. Here's the pitch from Blue Moon Odom, and Blue Moon with a 50. That's a deep drive. Oh Jesus, got all excited there. That's a deep drive. And we got a 0, I guess. We'll use that 0. So he drives it deep, and that ball is way back into the seats in right field, and this game is tied. Home run. Let me get the door for one of my buddies. Come on. right, so Frank Howard now steps in the box. Like I said, Blue Moon Odom has struggled the whole season, so Frank Howard now. Pitch to Howard, that's a 48, and that's going to be a bounce out to second base Green, over to first, and that retires the side. We go to top of the fourth. Dick Green leads off. Gogolewski winds and deals a 90, and nobody's on, so it's not a wild pitch. It's going to be a bounce to short, and that's one out now. And here's Blue Moon Odom, and a 77 will be a ground ball to short, and Cullen scoops it up and fires the first in time. 2 down. And next to is the sloppy stuff. Let's clean it up. There we go. Bird Campaneris with 2 gone. Pitch from Gogo with a 43 and a 9, and it's cracked to right center, and Burrows, he's there. Bottom of the fourth. That was a super duper quick inning. I think the quickest innings that I've had are with Appa, where you throw three 2d6s and you're out of the inning. Especially when you memorize the charts. Here, everything's off the cards. As you see, we haven't hit too many. We've only had one defensive result, and plus I haven't done any hit and runs or bunts. But I'm getting to memorize. That's a 99. Usually that's a pass ball check, but there's nobody on base. And a 6, that'll be a 6, which is a hard hit ball to Green, and Green plants and fires to Epstein. So Burrows bounces out. Allen playing him straight away. Bernie Allen, a lefty hitter. Pitch from Blue Moon, and that's a 64, which will be ball 4. So Allen walks, and Allen not a base stealer. He only had 2 bases. Stolen. Next up is Paul Casanova, not a hit and run guy, and we're not going to. It's 2-2, so we're not going to bunt with him either. So here's Blue Moon with the pitch, and an 80 with a 3. And that's a ground ball to third. Bando's going to go to Green for 1, and Allen goes in hard and breaks that up. So it's a 5-4 fielder's choice. And 2 outs for Cullen, Tim Cullen. Blue Moon looks over at Casanova. Casanova's not going anywhere. Gets the sign from Duncan to the belly and deals. And that's a 55, which is a base hit. And Casanova, let's see his speed. He is S, but he's average, so he will go to third on this. With 2 outs, he's average. You get a bump with 2 outs. Here's Gogo now. Again, it's the bottom of the fourth, so we're not thinking about pinch hitting. So, and that's a 40, which will be a defensive check. And that's a 76, and that 76 will be a grounder to the third. And Bando gets it and goes to second for the force. And because Bando's a 4, and this is, I haven't memorized. Been playing all season with him. So he's a 4 there at third base. That made him get it. A 3 would have committed an error, and a run would have scored. All right, so that ends the inning, and top of the fifth, 2-2. Good game. 2 runs, 4 hits for both teams, and no errors. Here is Rudy Gogolewski, and the pitch. And that's a 0-6. That's going to be line base hit. That's the second hit of the day for Rudy. He only had 3 stolen bases. Jackson now is up. He's a lefty hitter, and he's got the power. He's the man. Got 20 home runs, leads the team in home runs. 269 average, batted 277, so he's right around where he should be. Pretty crazy, and this is the 6 weeks left in the season, so don't expect such a big, huge change in any one direction. So here's Gogo. And Gogo, this is where you look at their fatigue and their stamina. It's still early, and this doesn't kick in unless they're having a crazy bad day, and both pitchers are doing well. So I know we're still good until at least the 6th or the 7th, so we've got to start looking at that, and I'll show you how to do that. It's a 91, and against Gogo, it's going to be a 5, and that's going to be a ground ball to Cullen, and Cullen flips it to Allen. Throw to first, not in time, so it's going to be a 6-4. And Jackson is on at first, and Jackson has some stolen bases, and he's a 10 plus 1. No. He's just a straight up 10. And that's a 72, and that's a defensive check. Again, this is the bottom right there. Just move that to the other side. And the 72 is going to be a 28, and that is to the center fielder. Anything 2 or better will catch that. Unser is a 4, so he's a real good center fielder, and he'll chase that down. Oh, 0-2, that's a drive. Deep to left. Let's see what happens here. And that ball is, off the wall. So that's going to be a double now. Jackson's pretty quick with 2 outs. He's going to get, we're going to try to score him. And, I think he's out. Yikes, a 98. That's not a good number for a choice chart. Jackson is going to be an F. And a 98 will be runner out after collision at the base. Roll on chart 0-2 above. 0-2 chart is here. So we'll roll there, and that's a 9, and both runner and fielder covering base are shaken up, but neither is injured. Runner is called safe after collision. So he is safe. He does score, and we're going to give Bando second base on that as well. So we're going to give him the double, and, he already gets second base. We're going to give him third base on that. So Jackson scores as a collision, and Bando goes to third on the collision. And here's Mangual. So it's 3-2. 3-2 A's on that crazy play. And that's a 0-6. That's the line. Base hit. And it's 4-2 now. Gogolewski's gone two times through the lineup. That's 2 plus 4. That's 6. Nice. He's still good. So Mangual keeps on hitting, keeps on raking. And here's Duncan. Here's the pitch, and that's an 89 with a 4. Slow bouncer to Allen, who charges, and with Duncan running, he's got time. Throws him out. But the A's pick up a couple with a 2-out rally there. And here's Del Unser against Blue Moon Odom, who's pitching pretty well. He's probably the best he's pitched in a long time. Knock on whatever this is, fiberboard. That's a swing and a miss. Struck him out. Del Unser chases high fastball from Blue Moon. And here's Dave Nelson, righty hitter, with a 42 and a 0. That's ripped and caught by Campaneris, who goes up and ends up on his tush, but holds on to the ball. Here's Mincher, Don Mincher. Pitch from Blue Moon with a 68, and that'll be ball 4. He walks Mincher with 2 outs. And that brings up Frank Howard, dangerous Frank Howard. So Odom gets a visit from Duncan, and Mincher is on at first with Howard at the plate, and Howard's going to step out, take a couple of practice swings, and he's going to look down at the barrel of the bat, and we're ready. Howard steps back in the box, and Odom gets the sign and to the belt and goes, and that is a 40, and that's ripped and caught by first baseman Epstein. So it's an L3. And here's Dick Green. So Gogolewski this is 5, plus he's given up a run. He's at an 8. There's a pitch to Green, and that's a 39er, and with an 8, that's cracked to right center, and Burrows again, he's there. And under it and squeezes it for out number 1. Here's Blue Moon Odom. Not going to get a hit, 88 with a 1, and that's popped up. It's shortstop, Cullen, 2 out. All right, and here's Bert Campaneris. Pitch, and that's a 65, which will be a swing and a miss. Struck him out. So Campy gets fooled, and he strikes out. Go to the bottom of the 6th. Jeff Burrows, pitch, and an 80 with a 5, and that's bounced to short. Campaneris, he's there, throws him out, 1 down. So Burrows been doing nothing but grounding out. Here's Allen with a 0-4, and that's line. And that's a knock. He's on at first. Allen is not a base stealer. Paul Casanova's next, here in the bottom of the 6th. Pitch, and that's a 36, which will be a 0. That is ripped and caught by Epstein. Will they double up Allen? And no. So no chance to get Allen, who dives back to the bag. Epstein snags that one. And here's Cullen now, 1 on and 2 out. And Odom gets the sign from Duncan. Looks over at Allen. Here's the pitch. And that's a 24 with a 2. Well, it's tapper right back to Odom. Feels his position. And that retires his side. Top of the 7th. Here we come. And let's check Gogo now. Gogo, how many batters faced? 28. So he's been through it 3 times. So he should be gone right now. We're going to pull him. We're going to pull Gogo and bring in, I got Lindblad. I look at how many times they've appeared compared to what they did in actual reality. And if they're, a lot of these guys are over except for this guy Cox. So we're going to bring in Cox. So we're going to bring in Cox. All right. So get all the players with this game. I just use 65 paper. It's really pretty cheap. I think it was like $5 for 250 sheets. And that's enough. You just need 3 sheets per team. And if you want the extra players, then you can do another sheet or 2. All right, so Casey Cox is going to pitch against Rudy. And here's a pitch to Rudy. That's 90-something, a 98 with a 1, and that's popped up. Right side, Mincher, under it, 1 away. Next up is Reggie Jackson. And that's a 19. Struck him out. So Cox gets him. And here's Epstein. 97 and a 6. And that is a ground ball to short. Cullen. Over to Mincher, and that retires the side. Quick inning for Cox. Holy smokes. And here's Odom now. Odom, we're pushing him. Let's see, Odom's faced 26 batters. So he's still okay. He's got a 10. Ooh. So he's given up a run. That's 1. He's been through the lineup. It's going to be 3 times. That is 4 plus. This is, yeah, we're going to pull Odom right here as well. And let's see where he bats in the lineup. Yeah, we're just going to bring him in straight up. I'm going to bring in the pitcher straight up for him. I've been using Grant, so I'm going to use Grant. Grant just joined the team after being away for a while. I don't know. I just saw him at the end here in the roster suddenly, so I've been using him. Mudcat Grant against Del Unser. Now we're going to bring in a pinch hitter for, it's going to be Mudcat is all, do we have any lefties? McCraw. Let me make sure I have McCraw before I bring him in. Make sure I printed him out. Tommy McCraw, I do have him. So he will bat. Tommy McCraw will bat here, leading off the 7th, bottom of the 7th. Pitch from Grant, and that's a 54, and that is bounced up the middle and through. So McCraw muscles 1 through the infield, not a base stealer, so he won't be going. Here's Del Unser now, steps in the box, the lefty against Grant. And Grant gets the sign from Duncan. Here's the pitch, and that is a 0-1. That's a deep drive with an 8. So anything in the ballpark is going to be an out, a 31, and that's going to be a drive off the top of the wall and bounces away from Jackson, and it's going to be Mangual who's going to play it. Scoring is McCraw, and digging for 3 is Unser. Here's a throw, the tag by Bando, and he is out. No, save. Triple. RBI triple with nobody out. Oh boy, what's going on with Mudcat Grant, who actually had a 3.17 ERA, but not a really great whip. Here's Dave Nelson, steps in the box. So the A's are going to be forced to bring the infield in here. Oh boy, and it's Dave Nelson. He's a contact guy, so hopefully he can see what happens. Here's the pitch. On the grounder, we're going to hold him up. 86 and a 1. That's going to be popped up. Left side, Bando in fair territory. Right on the infield grass, makes the catch. And that's the first out. Here's Mincher, Don Mincher now. With the tying run at third base, infield in. Everybody is on the grass here. It's Bando, Campaneris, Green, and Epstein. Grant and Duncan are both considered playing in anyway. Here's Mudcat Grant to, you know what? We are going to, Makes no difference. We're going to just let Mudcat pitch. Here it is. And that's a 13. Ball 4. Walks him. Walks him. Holy smokes. That puts runners on first and third with the righty Frank Howard coming up. Infield is in again. And we have no choice here with a tying run at third base. And Mudcat gets the sign to the belt. Mincher takes his lead off first, and Unser shuffles off third, and the pitch to Howard, who's 22, and that's going to be a swing and a miss. Struck him out. Mudcat Grant, big K. Here's Jeff Burrows, who's done nothing more than bounce out, but he batted .232 with 5 home runs and 200 plate appearances. 20-year-old Jeff Burrows, who has a lot of potential in this league for sure. And let Mudcat deal with him. Let's see what happens. Pitch, and that's going to be a 36. Oh, that's a defensive check. Yikes, a 43, and a 43 is going to be... Oh, no, it's a ground ball to short. Campaneris boots it, and the tying run scores. E6. Can't be... Must have taken his eye off the ball. And that run scores, and the game is tied, and that's an unearned run. Campaneris, a grounder that he feels 99% of the time. Well, they get lucky. The Washington Senators get lucky. They're not a good team, I can tell you that. Here's Bernie Allen now with Grant. And Grant is giving up a run. And he's a 2. So he's still good. Here's a pitch. And a 34 will be an out. Will be lined and caught by Green. And that ends the inning. All right, playing deep drive baseball, kind of teaching it as I go and kind of pointing out different little aspects of it. So you see it's more than just a straight up ball. There's a lot of little details to it. Sal Bando's going to lead off. We got to bring in a new pitcher. And it's going to be Pena. Pena can pitch. Oh, he can pitch an inning. We can bring him in for an inning. Let's see where he is. Horatio Pena. So, against Bando. Here's a pitch. And that's a 92. And that'll be a wild pitch, but there's nobody on base. So it's going to be a 4, which is slow grounded at Cullen, who charges hard. Bando hustling down the line. And the throw to first is, gets him by half a step. Bando thinks he's safe, but the umpire doesn't fall for it. And Mangual now. Pitch from Pena, and Pena can only go 1 inning, and that's lined base hit to left. So Mangual rips one, a rope off Mangual's bat, who's just like I said, raking lately. Everything's a hit for him. And here's Duncan. Hopefully Duncan can do something. Game is tied at 4 here in the top of the 8th. Mangual not a base stealer, but he's got decent speed. And here's the pitch. Oh man, we needed him to do something. He drives one to left, but right at Howard. And that's 2 outs. And here's Dick Green. Dick Green's really held his own. So lately he's been raking as of late. He's batting 400 in the last month. So we're gonna let him bat here with Mangual at first. Pena gets the sign from Casanova. Mangual takes his lead off first. Pena ready and deals. And that's gonna be a 74, which will be a defensive check. Not a good defense. Except for the 34, that's going to be a range check on who? On the right fielder. And the right fielder needs to be a 3 or better. And Burrows, I believe he was a 3, I believe. That's what I saw. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right. We'll see. Burrows, where is he? There he is, and he is a 3 right fielder. Left fielder, he's a 1, but 3 right fielder, and he runs that down, makes a nice running catch, and that retires the side. So he robs Green. And Paul Casanova leads off against Grant. Grant is out because he's tired now, so we're going to bring in Bob Locker. We're going to call on Len Randall to pinch hit, and it's Bob Locker on the mound for the A's. And He's a switch hitter, bats from the left side. Len Randall batted .220 that season with 2 home runs and 250 at-bats or plate appearances. So Locker wines and deals. And that's a 12, which is going to be ball 4. So Randall walks, and Randall had no stolen bases, really, just had a 1. He's a 9. Locker's a 0, and so he would be at 9 to try to steal. You know what? We're going to get Cullen to try to bunt. He's going to square away, and then we'll have a pinch hitter for the pitcher. So let's have a bunt. Let's see what happens. It's a 39 and a 1, and that's a pop-up. A pop-up on a bunt. Oh boy. No, it's just considered an out. It's considered a regular out. There's pop-outs on a separate roll. That one roll is going to be to the pitcher, and it's going to be tap right back to the pitcher, so it's a poor bunt. And they're going to go to, Locker's going to whip it to Campaneris, and it's going to be a 1-6 fielder's choice, and they're going to get Randall at second, and that's going to put Cullen at first. Cullen has decent speed. Again, not a stolen base threat, and Pena will be pinch hit for. Let's see. It's going to be Billings, and then Billings will stay in as catcher. So Billings is going to pinch hit, and with Cullen at first, Billings is not a hit and run guy, so we're not going to do that with him. And I only have 2 other guys on the bench, Toby Harrah, who actually both these guys are pretty good, and Elliot Maddox. You know what? We're going to try to steal second here. It's a 1-run game. We're in the bottom of the 8th. So we're going to pinch run with Elliot Maddox. And let me grab him. So we got 1 hitter left on the bench. And it's going to be Elliot Maddox. He's going to come in, and he's going to try to steal. He's an 11. Pinch runner. He's an 11. And he's got an aggressive lead at first base. Locker throws over, and head first back into the bag is Maddox, with Epstein straddling the bag and holding on Elliot Maddox, who's got good speed. Elliot Maddox, I believe, stole 10 bases. Yep, he stole 10 bases, and so he's going to steal one here to make it exciting. And he is a roll of a... You're going to add the 2 D10. Actually, it's 0 is not 10, but 0, so it's 18 numbers, and he's an 11 on 18s. So let's roll and see what happens. And there he goes, and Duncan with a strong throw, and he is safe at second base. So Elliot Maddox comes in as a pinch runner and steals second, and he stole that on Locker. Locker just takes forever to deliver. And Billings now with the go-ahead run in scoring position with only 1 out. See what happens. So Locker has pressure on him. See what happens. And here's the pitch from Locker, and that's a 0-4, and that is line base hit to center field, and that's in the gap. That's going to get cut off by Mangual, and scoring easily is Maddox, and the Washington Senators have taken the lead. Dick Billings, a pinch hit single, RBI single. And it's going to be Del Unser now. Billings is a catcher, so he's definitely not a speedy guy. And his speed isn't bad. He doesn't steal very much, obviously. But Del Unser's up, and he is a Del Unser, not a bad hit and run guy. So they're going to send Billings. There he goes, and it's a 50. Yikes. On a hit or run, a deep drive off the pitcher. Look at roll again on the batter's deep drive section. On a double, all runners score. Deep flyouts, lead runner is doubled up. Oh, that's interesting. So we're still going to go to the deep drive section. And so roll again on batter's deep drive section. On a double, all runners score. On a deep fly out, lead runner is doubled up. So let's see what happens. It's a 50, and we roll that 5, and he's a lefty batter, so it's gonna, okay. Let's just put it there so I remember. And And that's a drive in the gap, and let's see if it goes out of the park. And it's not going to go out of the park. It's going to be a double. Runner will score. So a double, an Unser double here with one out, drives in the second run of the inning. And that's it for Locker. He is gone. And we're going to go, who's coming up? Dave Nelson, a righty. We're going to go to Klimkowski. So the Athletics bullpen is faltering here. We're going to go to Klimkowski, and let's see where we put him because, yeah, he's up next, so he's not going to come in. We're going to go back and undo that. So Unser doubles, drives in the run, and now we're going to go to Klimkowski, but we're going to do a double switch with Green. We're going to bring in Brown. Brown will play second base, and the new pitcher, Klimkowski, will go in the 8th spot. So Green is out, and the new second baseman is Larry Brown. Let's grab him, and he'll be ready. We don't have a lot of infielders on this team. So he will bat. And let's confirm that move. So it's a double switch. Klimkowski's in, Green is out. Larry Brown is in at second base, and he will lead off the top of the 9th. Dave Nelson now with the runner at second base. And a pitch from Klimkowski, and that's a 27 with a 6 hard hit ball at the shortstop. Campaneris looks Unser back and whips it over across the diamond for the out. So a ground ball 6-3. These Senators have taken a 6-4 lead here in the bottom of the 8th inning. All right, and here's Don Mincher. And who's up next? Frank Howard. Yeah, we don't want to face Frank Howard. We'll face Mincher. Here's a pitch to Mincher, an 80 and a 7, and that's a hard hit ball to in the hole, and Campaneris with a long throw, and he gets him. Campaneris right on target, showing off the cannon. All right, so we got to make some changes here. It's going to be Hara is going to play shortstop, and the catcher is going to be Billings. Where is Billings? Oh, crap. All right, I got to do this a different way. I got to go back. Billings is going to play catcher. There. They won't let me do it until I insert a pitcher. Let me insert a pitcher. And it's going to be, who's their main guy is Lindblad. So Lindblad is going to come in. Lindblad will come into the catcher's spot. So let's undo everything. Let's undo the next one with Toby Hara as well. Okay. Top of the 9th. So let's go back in there. Let's make some changes. Harrod. All right. Billings will be catcher. We're gonna put. I put Harrod shortstop. Pitcher will go 8th. So let's put the pitcher 8th. Lindblad will be 8th, and then the catcher, the new catcher, will be Billings. Got it. Done. All right, Larry Brown leads off. Score 6-4, Washington top of the 9th. And the new pitcher is Paul Lindblad. So we're at the end of this game. This game took a little while. It was, it's not a super fast game. It's in the 40 minutes or so far, 46 minutes, 47 minutes. But it is the top of the 9th, so we're going to have to institute some new rules, maybe a second clock, so these guys don't take so long. So Larry Brown against Paul Lindblad, and Paul Lindblad has been back and forth between the A's and the Washington Senators. So here's the pitch. Now, it's not much of a hitter. An 18 is going to be an out of 2, and it's a tapper. And Lindblad comes down off the mound and picks it up, and better hurry, and just gets Brown at first base. Very close play. Brown hustling Campaneris now. Campaneris today I don't know what he's done today. I have to look at the box score. Campaneris today is 0 for 3. 0 for 3 for Campy. And you know what? We're gonna. Well, I don't have any more shortstops, so Campy's batting. There's a pitch, and this is gonna be a good one. And he's gonna line it to center. Single for Campaneris, but they're down by 2. So here's Rudy. Rudy's got a couple of hits today. And number 26, Joe Rudy, outstanding outfielder, left field 5. And Rudy will face Lindblad. He's got 2 hits today. Rudy's got his batting average at 250, batted 267. So we could try hit and run. Rudy's pretty good with that. But we don't want to risk getting thrown out. Here's a pitch. And that's a 62, and that's going to be a swing and a miss. Struck him out. That's the second out. Lindblad gets him on a curve. So Rudy totally out in front and fooled on that nasty curveball by Paul Lindblad, a veteran. And I think he's a veteran. How old is he? Yeah, he's a veteran. 29 years old, 7-4, 2.80 ERA. So he was really good. I remember him with the Rangers later on in his career. So here's the guy who stirs the drink. Reggie Jackson, number 9. At this time, he was number 9. I put the numbers on the cards as well, so I would know. And Reggie today is 1 for 4 with a 2-run homer, his 20th. So he needs to hit another one here to tie this up. Let's see what happens. Paul Lindblad gets the sign and looks at Campaneris. Not worried about Campaneris. Winds and deals to Jackson. Ooh, and that's an 82, and that'll be the end of the ball game. That's lifted to left center field, and Unser and Howard. And it's Howard just going to make the catch, and the ball game is over. The A's lose it. Boom. And the win goes to the home team, Washington Senators. 6 runs, 9 hits, no errors. The Athletics, 4 runs, 9 hits, and 1 error. Winning pitcher is Horatio Pena. Bob Locker with the loss, his first loss of the season. He's 5-1. Paul Lindblad picks up his 15th save. Del Unser is the player of the game. And Del Unser, what did he do today? He went 2 for 4. Del Unser 2 for 4 with a triple, that big triple there, and a double. So he had a double and a triple. Mincher hit his 12th home run of the season. Gogolewski gave up 4 runs and 6 innings pitched. Cox pitched an inning. Pena pitched an inning. Lindblad all pitched an inning. Only allowed 2 hits. They picked the bullpen for the Senators showed up, while the bullpen for the Athletics did not show up, especially Locker and Grant. They gave a total of, they gave up 4 hits and 3 earned runs, 2 walks, and only 1 strikeout in 2 innings. And yeah, and actually in 1.1 innings they gave up all that. Gronkowski came in for 2/3 of an inning and was able to not allow a hit, didn't allow a hit. So anyway, that's the ball game, guys. So this is Deep Drive Baseball, and plays very nicely. And I went into, and I think it took a little bit longer because I took some time talking about the different details of the cards and where to look for things and stuff like that. So you get a little bit familiar with it. Again, I'm using a better camera so you can see everything much more clearly right now, while I'm in the market for a new camera, because my other ones I've been struggling with those for a long time, and I need a camera for other things anyway, so I'm going to have a dual purpose kind of GoPro, a more advanced GoPro version. So anyway, all right, thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe my channel, and click on that little bell so you're alerted as to my videos, and I will have some more Deep Drive videos as I get through. This game was played August 17th, so I'm almost done with August. I'm waiting to get to September, and then I'm going to take a little hiatus and go into probably a different game for a little bit. But definitely the stats look really, really good on this game. Pretty amazing, to be honest with you. Almost everybody's within 5 to 10 points of their actual batting average. Some a little bit higher, some a little bit lower, but they're all where they should be. There's just a couple of outliers. Mangual, who doesn't have a lot of, he went 3 for 3 in this game. He does not have a lot of at bats, so that's what happens to your average. But he will, he just like he went 3 for 3, he'll go 0 for 12, and that's kind of how baseball is. And Jackson hit his 20th and drove in two to drive in his 70th, his 69th and 70th RBI. Bando with his 57th RBI. Mangual with his 28th. And stolen base, Campaneris is his 23rd. He stole 34 out of 41 attempts, so he's still got a ways to go. He's still in his next 40 days. He's got to steal another 11. So that's one every 4 games. And Del Unser stole his 10th of the season, and Elliot Maddox is 8th. So that looks good. And that's about it. Now we'll see you guys soon.